Welcome back, everyone. It's here. And today I've got some r/BestOf for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading you the posts, giving you my opinions, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This post was collected by Shark Ava, and their tagline is, "No tonight, just had 50 justice." The original OP is Klutzy Letterhead 359, posted to r/mytheasshole the 5th of December 2025. Am I the asshole for asking my husband for a divorce because he blames his financial incompetence on my lack of employment? Hello! I'm going to keep this short and sweet. My husband and I have been married for 7 years. Prior to us getting married, I had my own business, was doing great for myself. My husband is in the military. When we got married, he encouraged me to give up my business and be a stay-at-home mom, which I was fine with. The problem is, now we can't afford the bills. He pays for the 2 vehicles we have: insurance, his phone bill, groceries, and gas. We live on base, so we don't pay utilities, and BAH covers our home. He claims I need to get a job because we, again, can't afford the bills. Our bills total out to about $1,200 a month. He makes about $2,800 a month, and I was confused because he makes more than enough. My car payment is now behind 5 months, and he's claiming the financial stress is due to me being a stay-at-home mom. I had started looking at our bank account. I've never checked it before, and that's on me. And found out that he eats out every single day and spends hundreds of dollars a month on sports betting sites and Steam purchases. We have had the same argument for months, and he just won't stop gambling and eating out. He was spending so much that he started taking out cash advances in his name and my name, and that's what's keeping us in a hole at this point. My credit is ruined, and I'm not okay with being the scapegoat because he can't stop spending money. So am I the asshole for wanting out? Comments. Nubilala. Not the asshole, but I think the reason for the divorce is because he's a gambling liar rather than him blaming your soon-to-be repossessed car on the fact that you don't work. User Lazuli Rose comments, "Not the asshole, you're going to need an attorney. This is going to sound like blaming, but I really do not mean it to. Always check bank accounts, financials, and keep an eye on bills, even when married. You should know what's going on with the family finances." OP responds, "I'll provide a little more clarification on the bank thing. I used to check it. We almost went through a divorce about 1.5 years ago. When that happened, he changed all his passwords. When we reconciled, I just never asked for the new one. I definitely should have though, and that's fully on me for not doing so." User Substantial Shoe 360 comments, "You need an attorney, a shark, because he committed identity theft by getting cash advances in your name. I'm an army brat. The physical and financial cheating never stops. It just pauses. Please get out before he lays hands on you or worse." Also, edit to add, "The gambling and abuse to your credit is more than enough to lose his future promotions and security clearance. Best of luck, and take care of you and your kids." Judgment, not the asshole. Update, 2 months later. Hello, it's been about 2 months since the original post, and I wanted to provide an update for those asking. Too long didn't read. My now ex-husband has had a serious spending problem, gambling problem, and neglected our bills for months. He blamed my lack of employment. I blamed him spending outside of our means. He has since repeatedly taken out cash advances in my name and maxed them all out. The car payment is behind by 3 months now instead of 6. Since my original post, a lot has happened. I visited my family for Thanksgiving, and when I got back, he told me I needed to get a job. I worked on finding one, but because I wasn't hired within a week somewhere, all hell broke loose. He started speaking to me in a way he never has before, degrading me, insulting me, weaponizing past traumas against me, etc. I told him finally that I was done and wanted a divorce, and this infuriated him. For days, he recorded me in my own home, followed me around, insulting me and calling me awful names. He would call his best friend and yell insults about me and sit there, degrading me in front of our children. He would approach me and just antagonize me continuously until I finally had enough and told him to leave me alone. He told me he didn't have to do anything since it was his house and started screaming at me more. He then repeatedly told me over and over that he would be taking my children from me and that I would never see them again, and that the courts would side with him because I've already given up one child. I have an open adoption because I had a child at a very young age and wasn't in a position to raise her. This was the last straw for me. The following Friday, I packed as much of mine and my children's necessities in the trunk of my car, packed up our pets, and I left. He arrived home shortly after I left and started blowing up my phone. I texted him and said I was leaving to stay with family until things calmed down and our home wasn't a hostile environment. He continued with more threats of taking the kids from me and making sure I get very limited time with them. During this process, he turned into some type of religious wacko, calling me the devil repeatedly, speaking about Judgment Day, calling me evil, and telling me a judge and his attorney were going to tear me apart in court. 3 days later, I was served with an emergency order he had filed, and a few days after, I received a parentage order and a temporary domestic order. Mind you, this all happened over the course of only 5 days that I had been gone. We had a court date at the end of December. During that court hearing, my ex decided to make up a bunch of lies to try to make me seem as if I was a neglectful parent and isolating them from him. He spoke to them 10 plus times a day, and I never interrupted or listened in on their time. At the end, the orders were thrown out and the court officer stated that she believed my ex's behavior was concerning after he openly admitted to verbally abusing me the last few weeks I was in the home. But my ex stated it was okay because the children didn't hear. They were in the next room over. I guarantee they heard it. Since all of this, I looked further into bills as a commenter suggested, stating, I bet he's paying his bills and neglecting hers. Well, you were right. All of his bills, strictly in his name, are all up to date. The only ones he's refusing to pay are our bills, with both of our names on it. He has also now taken out a total of over $1,100 in cash advances in my name since I left. I was able to log into all of these accounts he made, change the password, contact support, and prevent it from happening even further. He received a bonus that all service members received last month. I put $1,000 of it towards the car to get caught up on payments, as it was around $1,900 behind. He called fraud on this payment, but thankfully, I caught it in time and told the bank what was happening since I am the primary account holder. He has since locked me out of our shared bank account and restricted all of my access. He refuses to pay off the cash advances as well, stating, "They're your problem now." I have since retained an attorney and filed for divorce. He made a big deal about his lawyer tearing me apart. Come to find out, he doesn't have one. After fighting me for the last few weeks, he's given up. I'm guessing because he doesn't have the money to fight me on this. And we've came to a custody agreement. I also started my business back up, and things are looking up for us now for those that were stating I needed to work. Thank you to all the Redditors for the harsh truths, reality checks, and honest opinions. I swear some of you have crystal balls and can predict the future. I never saw these horrible escalations coming, and I never dreamed that he would ever speak to me the way that he was the last few weeks I was there. But anyways, there's a small update. I'll answer any clarifying questions that I can. Thanks again. Here are some clarifying points that people asked about on the original post, so people don't have to look through the comments to find. My ex is active duty in the military. Our bills total to about $1,200 to $1,400 a month. He makes $2,800 a month. I was a stay-at-home mom to 2 children. We never had financial issues to begin with when he was making less money at a lower rank. It only became an issue when he started gambling and eating out multiple times a day. Why didn't I work? Daycare costs a fortune, and I didn't want to work just for my entire check to go towards daycare costs, and it made no sense to do so. We almost got a divorce about 1.5 years ago due to him cheating. When this happened, he changed passwords to everything. When we reconciled, I never asked for new ones. I just trusted that he would pay the bills like he always had. I was encouraged to reach out to his command. I did. They did nothing and said it was a civil matter. I then reached out to the IG, who then told me the same thing. My family paid for my attorney, as I am not in any financial position to be able to afford one. Keyphone 3648. You may want to report him to his CO. I cannot legally nor ethically diagnose someone over the internet, but his behavior is giving red flags for bipolar disorder. Specifically, a manic episode with his risky behavior, gambling, and turning to sudden religiosity and calling you the devil. I think, but don't quote me, if you report to his CO, the military may do an involuntary psych evaluation and either get him treated or thrown out. OP responds, I spoke with his CO and the IG, the Inspector General's office. They informed me he had done nothing wrong and that I would need to take him to civil court over any loans and cash advances he stacked up in my name. I told them everything that has happened. They didn't seem too worried about it though. User Keyphone3648 comments again, That's weird. Have you talked to the JAG? Identity theft is a federal crime. That being said, it definitely sounds like some sort of psychotic break, so he'll probably do something that'll be flagged soon. Opie responds further, I have not spoken to the JAG. I've been pointed in so many directions and contacted so many people that have all told me there's nothing that they can do. I'm just going to request in our divorce decree that he's responsible for paying off the cash advances and hopefully he'll be ordered to pay them off. User Mama Kim661 comments, Document, document, document. He's digging himself a hole. Also, I'd file a police report of all the stuff he's taken out in your name that you had no idea about. That's identity theft. Opie responds, I did and was told it's a civil matter because we're married. I was kind of shocked, but I have day-to-day documentation of everything that's happened. Bank statements, until I couldn't see anything anymore. His texts admitting to taking out the cash advances and how they were overdue, etc. User Witch9402 comments, if he's taken out loans in your name without your approval, that's identity fraud. File a police report. Make sure you lock down your credit and your children's. He could fraudulently try to open lines of credit in their name to fuel his addiction. OP responds, a police report has been filed as well. They told me it was all civil. You need to get a job and stop being a stay-at-home mom because our financial situation can't afford it. Looks inside of the financial situation. Gambling. This guy is just actual scum, and I really do wish OP the best in getting out of this situation because this is going to be messy, it's going to suck, but thankfully, at least your parents are willing to handle the attorney. I do find it funny there's a lot of people out there be like, oh, well, my lawyer will be in contact with you, or, oh, the judge is going to do X, Y, and Z. It's just boasting, trying to scare you as if you know people in high places, but the moment he gets the bill for how much an attorney actually costs, no more fantasy football or gambling for you, buddy. Sorry. Just be easier to throw the towel in, wouldn't it? Gambling in DoorDash? Attorney for custody of kids. Gambling in DoorDash? Making my wife's life hell. Gambling in DoorDash? Following through on my fucked up threats. Gambling in DoorDash it is. I'm also curious how much of this is actually just following protocol of yes, this is a civil matter, and how much of this is just people sweeping things under the rug and not wanting to deal with it or not taking her seriously. Good God. This post was collected by Shark Ava, and their tagline is, No and I just had 50 justice organ. The original OP is Best Pirate 5073, posted in r/entitled People, January 17th, 2026. Today, I had the most entitled client of my career, and I still can't process what happened. Earlier today, I had a new client book me for a mobile massage. I've never worked on this woman, possibly in her early 30s before, so because of that, I make sure to go through all expectations well before the massage and ensure that my clients get every bit of what they are paying for. So we did just that. We chatted for about 5 minutes before we got started, and she was really kind. She went into detail about exactly what she wanted, and she asked for a 1.5-hour massage. Told me exactly what areas to focus on. She had 0 areas to avoid pain points, and had reported no pain, so all was golden as far as I could tell. So we finalize everything and start the massage. As we're going, I make it a point every 15 to 30 minutes to check in and ask what questions to ensure everything was exactly what she wanted. Every time I asked, she enthusiastically said it was perfect, and that she was super relaxed. So we kept going. Now, once the 1.5 hours hit, I decided to take an additional 15 minutes to give her a scalp massage, hot towel, and even hot stones. Again, this is after the massage. This is just something I've always added on for my clients as a thank you. And again, I made all of this very clear, that this was free and on me. As we're wrapping up and I'm putting up all my stuff and getting ready to have her get up and change, she suddenly says to me, Wait, was that a deep tissue massage? I wanted a relaxing massage. The pressure was too hard for me. I politely replied, oh, no, that's what we agreed upon, and I asked you about pressure along the way, and you said it was perfect. Did I miss something? She then sits up, looks at me and says, no, so I definitely am not tipping you at all for something I didn't even want. That is not what I asked for. If you were a good massage therapist, you'd give me more time and make sure I'm taken care of. And when I tell you how fast I told her to get her ass off my table, pay me, and lose my phone number. Comments. Jim Gavani. Unreal, she's nuts. Opie responds, I couldn't agree more. Slow Challenge 83.5 comments. This is like when someone finishes the meal they ordered and then tells the server they didn't like it. So sorry this happened to you. Tech Fiend 5 comments. Yep, first thing that came to mind is a scam tactic. Wanted a reduced price to not have to pay tip, or was hoping it would be free. Adventurous Sun 6928 comments. But it is such a short-sighted thing to do. Finding a good massage therapist isn't easy. User Girl with the Monkey comments. I would cut my arm off for a damn massage. And then just getting a scalp massage too? Oh my god. Opie responds, yes, I did the whole thing. Useless 890 comments. Did you at least get paid? Opie responds, I did. Update 3 days later. Hey everyone, thanks for the support of my original post from a few days ago. Y'all had me cracking up with your stories and advice. I tried to reply to as many as I could, so sorry if I didn't get back to you. I honestly thought that was the end of it after I booted her entitled ass out. But oh boy, was I wrong. Buckle up because this update is straight out of a bad reality TV episode. So after she paid me, grudgingly, and mumbled about how she'd never recommend me and that I was unprofessional. Fine, whatever. I've got a solid client list and glowing reviews. But then, yesterday, I get a notification regarding a 1-star review from her, claiming I assaulted her with aggressive pressure, ignored her requests, and even tried to extort her for a tip. She straight up lied, saying the extra 15 minutes was forced on her and that I demanded more money for it. The audacity! P.S. I saw some comments predicted this would happen, but was shook when it actually did. I was fuming, but I kept my cool and responded professionally in the app, explaining our pre-massage chat, the check-ins where she said everything was perfect and that the extras were free. I even attached screenshots of our initial texts confirming deep tissue. Turns out, the app mods reviewed it and removed her bullshit review within a day, citing it as defamatory. So that's a win for me. Oh, and the cherry on top? One of my regular clients, who I vented to anonymously, recognized the description of the woman and messaged me after her session. It turns out this woman is notorious in my other clients' local Facebook moms group for pulling similar stunts with hairdressers, nail techs, and even a dog groomer. She's been blacklisted by half the service pros in town. Karma is working overtime. Moral of the story, always document everything, folks. And to any other massage therapist out there, trust your gut on those kind at first clients. They've got layers like an onion, and sometimes they stink. Thanks for reading. Now back to my non-drama clients. Comments. British Spears. I'm so glad you got that closure and knowing it's not just you she's done that to. Things like this make my head spin, and I would have been replaying it all day in my head over and over. Good for you. People like that destroy people's confidence and even end careers. OP responds, oh yeah, I mean it was a wild ride with her, but knowing she was a common problem helped me not feel like it was a me issue. User Interesting Wing 461 comments, so glad to hear how this turned out. I'm not surprised that she's pulled this crap out of their places. She is eventually going to run out of places to go and will have to start going out of town. OP responds, I mean, let's hope so at this point. Whenever I hear tales of clients like this, I can only just imagine that this has to be some of the most self-centered and entitled people. They don't care whose toes they have to step on. They don't care whose lives they have to potentially ruin. As long as they get their free massage, that's all they care about. If they jeopardize someone's career or potential future prospects, so be it. Like, what's the end goal here? Seriously, a free massage and then when that doesn't happen, you try to ruin their career to show them? Genuinely, how much of a bottom feeder can you actually be for this kind of behavior? It's something that I understand that it comes from a place of entitlement and it comes from a place of just not really giving a shit what happens to other people once you walk away from them. But it's still just the mindset of, you're actually okay with potentially ruining someone's life over this. Huh? Really? On top of that, I'm not surprised that the website hosting the review took that defamatory review down. And yeah, it would actually fall under defamation in that case. And there's probably definitely a pretty good reason why they took it down. If I had to wager, it probably has something to do with preventing future court costs. This post was collected by Lucy Aria Rose, and their tagline is, "I'm keeping the garlic." The original OP is Euphoric Whereas 4183, posted in r/Rover Pet Sitting, r/Seattle, and r/Seattle, Washington. And because of the subject matter of this post, there is a good ending. Rover sitter lost my dog. On Christmas Day, I received a message from my Rover sitter saying my 10-pound Chihuahua ran from her and he hasn't been found. My husband immediately called her, but it was her male friend who answered. The story we got from the friend is the Rover sitter took both our dogs to her friend's house, never asked for permission to take them away from her residence. The sitter went back out to her car to grab a crate, although we never provided a crate, nor are our dogs crate trained. And the male friend spooked my small dog and he bolted out the front door. We have done everything to find him. Neon posters, handing out flyers, posted to social media, contacted vet/shelters. I know the sitter has been doing this as well, but I can't help but feel so much anger. My dog has been missing for 4 days now, and he's extremely small and anxious. It's been in the freezing temps here. I have no clue why she took the dog somewhere else or why she had a crate with her. I even asked her what her Christmas plans were, and she never mentioned going anywhere. The dogs are able to be left alone for a few hours, so not sure why they needed to go with her. We were refunded from Rover, but lost out on thousands on our trip. We were in Hawaii for 12 hours before getting the message our dog ran away. We booked the next flight home to help with the search. This was supposed to be our romantic baby moon. I'm 23 weeks pregnant, and this stress has been miserable. Knowing I need to care for my baby is the only thing keeping me eating and drinking water. My family and I are heartbroken and devastated. The grief is so heavy, and I keep thinking the worst. I will never trust my dogs to be watched by a non-family member again. OP posts a photo of their dog Apollo below. Some of OP's comments. Ring cameras. She did check with the neighbors and asked about Ring camera footage. We haven't heard a single thing about a spotting. Unfortunately, he's not chipped, but if he comes home, it will be the first thing we do. Union OK 2156. This happened to my mom when her sister watched her dog, so it was family watching it. And the dog did end up being found days later. In fact, I'd say I exclusively find lost dogs on or around holidays because they bolt to find their home. Don't give up hope. Opie responds, I'm hoping she's still alive somewhere. Unfortunately, the Rover sitter took him an hour away from home. We've been driving the area every day, but the drive is taking a toll. If he was closer to home, I'd definitely leave out food and some blankets, hoping he'd return back here. To a longer comment with advice. Thank you so much for the advice. I did reach out to a drone team who said their service wouldn't be helpful in such a populated area. The dog tracking team I reached out to never responded, but I will reach out again. Filing a police report will be my next step. Again, thank you so much. User It's the Fallinator comments. I hate to even think this way, and I'm sorry to suggest it, but it could be possible that something happened to him and the sitters are lying to you. Could they have hurt him? Maybe another dog or person did? I'm sorry for what you are experiencing. I can't imagine the heartbreak. I'm a Rover sitter sending hope and love your way. OP responds, hard to say. The sitter and the friend have been putting flyers up all over and asking for Ring camera footage and updating me. She seems really apologetic and our other dog appears completely fine. She has had a lot of 5-star reviews, but that doesn't mean anything. Truly a confusing situation. Mini update comment, December 31st, 2025. Update, still nothing, unfortunately. I've taken all suggestions, posted to every place you guys said, searched on foot for 6 days, left out my dirty clothes, and I even have a call with a pet professional today. Like in my last update, the scent tracking team did not get back to me, and I haven't found another one. Also, the drone team advised against it since the area is heavily populated. With tonight being New Year's Eve, my hopes are plummeting. He's such a scared and anxious boy. Again, no reason to believe the sitter has him. She posted flyers in the only possible sighting spot as soon as she got word, and they've tried a food trail back to the friend's house. The hour drive has taken a toll on me physically and mentally. I hate to think he's so far from home. Thank you again for your kindness and suggestions in these comments. One of OP's comments. Kind of human Lania. Wow, I'm so sorry. My heart breaks for you in this situation. I would be devastated and don't think I could let the sitter get away with it, even if it wasn't intentional. OP responds, I know. I'm so conflicted because she really does seem like a genuine nice person who is doing all she can to help in the search. On the other hand, my dog should have never been at a different location without permission. I just want my pup back. Update on the same post between January 2nd and January 4th. Update. Probably the last time I checked this since there are no leads on my dog. Apollo is still missing, or rather crossed the Rainbow Bridge. Heartbroken and devastated do not cover my feelings. My husband and I rescued Apollo as a puppy. He was only a year and a half when he ran away. I took all your suggestions, posted on every social media platform, posted flyers, neon signs, talked with neighbors, laid out dirty clothes, but nothing. The drone team said since he ran in a populated area, the drone would not be very useful. I reached out to 3 K9 scent tracking teams, but 2 did not service the area and no response from the other. For those saying the sitter stole the dog or sold him, I truly do not believe that is the case. She has updated me every night, posted flyers all over, and refunded me the portion that Rover did not. She made a very grave mistake when taking my dogs away from her place, and that part is still not acceptable. My husband and I did a meet and greet prior to the stay, and we selected her because she had no other dogs, no roommates, and no children. We knew Apollo was anxious, so we took all the steps in order to ensure a safe stay. I am in contact with Rover and possibly a lawyer. I have to believe that wherever Apollo may be, he is happy. He was our baby and he will be missed so much. Mini update in the comments. January 11th, 2026. 2 weeks from the original post. Thank you everyone who came back to check this post and was still thinking of my sweet Apollo. He is home after 16 long days. He has a long road to recovery, but the vet has said he is stable. Miracles happen. An update to the same post, January 14th, 2026, over 2 weeks from the original post. Another update. After 16 long days, Apollo was found. This last Friday, I received a text with a picture of Apollo crouched by a neighbor's porch. The person recognized him from the flyers and contacted me. Another neighbor was able to get him into a crate until I could get there. Although extremely malnourished and skittish, he appears fine, all things considered. He's seen the vet twice and has follow-up appointments that Rover will cover. Thank you all for the thoughts, prayers, and advice. He is such a fighter, and it's a miracle he made it home. It is a bit of a shame that any time that we hear about Rover pet sitting, it's always some sort of horror story. I do know there are people in my comments who are Rover pet sitters, and I've mentioned that this is kind of the outliers, that this is very rare. I suppose really all you can do is just make sure that you properly vet anyone who will be watching your dog, whether it's family, whether it's some kind of doggy daycare, or whether it's a Rover pet sitter. Make sure you're at least familiar with the person and the dog is too, and I just take the necessary steps. I don't know why this person decided to go and take the dog out of the home and, tried to crate them and led to this incident. It seems incredibly short-sighted, and I can only hope they've learned their lesson. I'm also going to commend OP for keeping their cool because I don't know how I would have reacted if I would have crashed the fuck out, or if I would have just been a sobbing mess, or if I would have just been trying to reassure them through my teeth while also just hating every moment of my existence. Ugh. If you have any Rover pet sitting stories that are positive, please, for the love of God, share them. It would be nice to hear ones that are not extremely negative. Please. This post was collected by Dread Caterpillar 77, and their tagline is, Satan is not a pogo stick. The original OP is Metamorphosis. Posted to r/entitled people, January 2nd, 2026. My friend is mad because a random guy didn't serve her. A few days ago, I went to a dinner party with my friend. It's a Chinese restaurant with big round tables. We sat around a table with about 10 people. She found one guy there attractive. It's a friend's friend, so they didn't know each other. She wanted his attention. The guy was chatting with his friend. My friend waved and stopped their conversation, asked him to get some extra tableware for her. The guy called a waitress, said, "Please get some tableware for that lady." Then he told my friend, "I ordered the waitress to bring it for you." After that, he continued chatting with his friend. Then my friend started her endless complaint. He said the guy was ridiculously impolite. I asked her why. She said the guy was rude for not serving her. He didn't go to get the tableware for her, but only sitting there and ordered the waitress. She's also angry the guy kept chatting to his friend as if she's not important. My friend always thinks she's very beautiful, but clearly, not every man find her attractive. Relevant comments. Interesting Wing 461. Didn't we just fucking see a comment from them? Heh, we did indeed. Interesting Wing 461. Did this guy even work there? OP responds, no, the guy was also attending this party with his friend. OP posts an update 3 days later, titled, I'm single and it's your fault. A few days ago, I went to a dinner party with my friend and she was angry because a guest did not serve her. Here's a little update. After the party, she wasn't just complaining about the guy, but she's also not happy that no one asked her out. No one asked for her number, and basically, no guy approached her after the party. This morning, she messaged me some details of a dating event and requested that I join with her next week. I refused because I'm not interested in a dating event, and I already have plans with my boyfriend that day. She was angry. She blamed me for being so selfish and only enjoying time with my boyfriend and letting her stay single. I was too shocked to hear. Does she think she's entitled to my time and weekends? I told her I'm not joining the event. I told her that if she really wanted a guy, she should just use the dating apps or join the events alone instead of bothering me. Then she said, I want a guy, but I don't want to go to the event alone as if I'm the only single woman. You have to join me, helping me to get a boyfriend. Otherwise, I'm not going, and it'll be your fault for letting me stay single. I didn't reply. I've known her for 2 to 3 years, but I think the longer she's single, the more entitled she acts, and I suspect I'll no longer want to be her friend if she continues this way. Relevant comments. User OKYoung1709 comments, there's no wonder no guy wants her. She reeks of desperation and craziness. How is she going to be the only single woman at a dating event? It's not exactly somewhere women with partners frequently go. She needs to start liking herself and being comfortable with her own company, or the only men she will get are assholes. User Angel Fishing comments, I think she means the only single woman in her friend group, not the only single woman in the dating event. OK Young responds, I don't know, cause she said she didn't want to go to the event as if she's the only single woman and says OP has to help her find a boyfriend there. OP butts in to clarify. She thinks by attending the dating event, it's to admit that she's single and can't find a man, and she thinks it hurts her ego. So she wants someone to accompany her to boost her confidence. OK Young 1709 responds further, but she is single. As I said, most people who have partners don't attend dating events. Her logic is stupid because, as I say, she's desperate and is acting crazy. She should use an app instead if an event is too much for her. But realistically, she's already telling normal guys to go nowhere near her because she's nuts. She needs to calm down and learn to be happy on her own. She isn't. 3 days later, January 8th, 2026. I'm single. so it's your duty to take care of me. This is an update about my friend again. Last time she forced me to join a dating event with her, and I rejected it. She blamed me for hurting her feelings. The next 2 days, she kept sending me crying/angry emojis. I didn't feel good about the fact that she tried to force me to a dating event, so I ignored her. Today, she finally switched the topic, said she was lonely, and she hoped my boyfriend and I could go to a barbecue with her. I thought maybe she had learned the lesson, that she shouldn't force me, and she sounded vulnerable this time. So I asked my boyfriend's opinion. My boyfriend agrees to go together, though he does not like her much. So I told my friend to plan the detail. Later, she told me her plan. There's a huge to-buy list. She requires my boyfriend and me to buy everything. And the list contains very specific food items such as seafood/guts that can't easily be bought in supermarkets. I told her the arrangement was very inconvenient to us and we don't eat the food she listed. She argued that, "You two have a whole morning to prepare the food. You know I wake up late. Just get everything and come to my door at 2 p.m. to pick me up." My boyfriend refused to pick her up and suggested she buy her own food. She was angry and said we are not caring for her. My boyfriend argued it's not our responsibility. She said, "I'm single, so of course it's you two's duty to take care of me." I told her, "We're not going to the barbecue, please enjoy your time," and ended the conversation. I don't think she's a friend anymore. Relevant comments. Pearglum. With all your updates, I'm surprised it took you this long. OP responds, "Yeah, I try to distance myself from her, but when she sounds fragile, such as saying, 'I'm lonely' or 'you're my only friend,' I feel guilty about leaving her alone, but now I see why other friends left her." Laura P-Town comments, "Why are you talking to this person? How old is she? She feels like she's a teenager." OP responds, "No, she's almost 40. User Kawaii Dumpling 8 comments, "Are you guys Chinese? From some of the details, it sounds like it." OP responds with a yes smiley face. 6 days later, January 14th, 2026, post titled, "I made some dumplings for you. Now you owe me this and that." Again, this is the same girl I've written about in my previous posts. This is probably the last update about her, as I finally blocked her on everything. So I rejected her barbecue offer. I had been super cold to her, just saying I'm busy at work and not able to talk. I didn't block her at first because we have a common friend group. Every time we have a conflict, she tells other friends she was hurt and mistreated. Then people will come to me asking what happened. I'm tired of drama, so I didn't want to irritate her. Last night she sent me some pictures of homemade dumplings and told me, "I spent 4 hours making these dumplings for you. Can you come pick them up this Saturday?" I did not reply. Half an hour later, she sent another picture of her eating dumplings and said, "You're a bad friend. You ignored me, and I'm deducting your dumplings." Her entitlement somehow triggered me, and I told her, "Whatever, I don't want them," and left her unread. This morning, I saw she had sent me paragraphs saying, "I made these dumplings just for you. Whether you eat them or not, you are now owing me things." And she listed a lot of stuff, including various foods, snacks, and some kitchenware. She required me to bring these items to me when you come pick up the remaining dumplings. There's not much left though, because you treated me so badly. I said nothing and blocked her and deleted her Facebook. I don't care what she'll tell other friends anymore. There has to be a point where people realize, like, oh, maybe it's not everyone around me, maybe it is me. What kind of person starts out by asking someone out by making them grab silverware for them and interrupting their conversation, then becoming irate they have the gall to ask the waitstaff to get it instead of them getting it themselves, and that they paid no attention to you, and that at the end of the night, no one even bothered to ask you out or talk to you? Like, make an actual effort to have a conversation with people and, like, get to know them. Don't just command them to do something for you and expect them to do so and that's your golden ticket in. Like, what, is this a test to see if you'll find a boyfriend who will be subservient to you? Like, what's the goal here? And then when that shockingly doesn't work, you then make it everyone else's problem around you. God damn. Good for OP for getting away from this mess. Oh my god. Hey, welcome to the outro. Don't forget this whole thing is basically brought to you by GamerSupps. If you like caffeine, then I can't recommend GamerSupps enough. Use code Oz at checkout to support the channel. And I do actually use this product. It's replaced all other sources of caffeine for me because I feel good. It doesn't have any of that extra stuff that a pre-workout blend might have. It's with a couple of the extra things to make it so you don't crash as hard. It's good. I like it. Personally, if you really want a good flavor, try the Soda Pressing Pear or even the Dragon Fruit Punch. Those two are my personal favorites right now.